Hi and welcome to True Crime Sim Mysteries. In this episode I will talk about one of the most dark and haunting cases in American history, the legend of the Bloody Benders. The story takes place in the 1870s. On the windswept plains of Labette County, Kansas, settled a humble family named the Benders. Little did the locals know that this family would soon become known for terror. The Benders were led by John and Elvira, an elderly couple who ran a small inn and general store. They also had a son named John Jr., who was 25, and a daughter named Kate, who was 23. John Sr. was around 60 years old, and his wife Elvira was around 55. The Benders were widely believed to be German immigrants, but there is no evidence of this actually being true. To the townspeople, they appeared to be ordinary folks trying to make a living in the harsh prairie environment. However, behind the facade of hospitality, a sinister reality lurked. The Benders Inn became a resting place for weary travelers, offering a respite from the desolate landscape. But some visitors to the inn would never leave. Rumors circulated of those who mysteriously vanished after their stay, their belongings abandoned, and their fate unknown. The Benders' sinister reputation grew, and with it, the horror stories. Whispers of travelers who were welcomed into their home, only to meet a gruesome end. Suspicion and fear began to spread in the local community. The disappearances of travelers raised concern, and whispers turned into a collective unease. But it wasn't until a prominent local doctor, Dr. William Henry York, went missing that the community's worst fears were confirmed. Dr. York had left to go searching for a man and his infant daughter who had gone missing. The missing man was George Newton Longcore, and his daughter was named Mary Ann. Dr. York's friends and his two brothers, alarmed by his sudden disappearance, launched a search party, scouring the prairie for any trace of the esteemed doctor. Their investigation led them to the Bender property. One of the brothers and another man arrived at the Benders Inn, explaining that his brother had gone missing and asking if they had seen him. The Benders admitted Dr. York had stayed with them and suggested the possibility that he may have run into trouble with Indians. The brother agreed that this was possible and remained at the inn for dinner. A couple of days later, the brother returned to the inn with armed men after learning that a woman had fled the inn after Elvira Bender had threatened her with knives. Elvira allegedly could not understand English enough, but the younger Bender siblings denied and said that the story wasn't true. When the brother asked the question again, Elvira got angry and told him that the woman was a witch who had cursed her coffee. This made it clear that her English was much better than she pretended. Several days later, when the search party approached the inn, an eerie stillness hung in the air. Inside, they found the inn deserted. Furniture was scattered, the stove was empty, and there was only silence. Digging into the ground outside, they discovered a grim reality. The bodies of numerous victims, including Dr. York, buried in shallow graves. The Benders had vanished, leaving behind a macabre scene. The truth of their horror slowly came to light. It was revealed that victims had been murdered, their bodies looted for possessions before being viciously disposed of in the ground surrounding the property. Despite a manhunt and widespread publicity, the fate of the Benders remains a mystery. Some speculate they fled, evading justice, while others suggest they met their own end on the run. It was allegedly confirmed that detectives had followed wagon tracks and discovered the Benders wagon, abandoned with a starving team of horses, just outside the city limits of Thayer, 19 kilometers north of the inn. It was also confirmed that the family had bought tickets for the train to Humboldt. The siblings John and Kate had left the train at Chanute and had taken another train south to Red River County near Denison, Texas. From there, they traveled to an outlaw colony that supposedly was somewhere in the border region between Texas and New Mexico. They were not pursued because lawmen following outlaws into this region very rarely returned. One detective claimed that the elder Benders did not leave the train at Humboldt, but instead continued north to Kansas City, where it was believed they purchased tickets for St. Louis, Missouri. There are many theories and claims about what actually happened to the Benders. One theory is that one angry group of people caught the Benders and shot all of them, but Kate, whom they burned alive. Another group of people claimed that they had caught the Benders and lynched them before throwing their bodies into the river. Another person claimed to have killed the Benders during a gunfight and buried their bodies somewhere on the prairie. There was a $3,000 reward at the time that no one ever claimed. The case of the Bloody Benders remains a dark chapter in American history that continues to intrigue and horrify to this day. The legacy of the Benders serves as a stark reminder of the shadows that can lurk behind seemingly ordinary facades. This was the story of the Bloody Benders, the serial killing family. This was all for today. Take care of each other and see you next time.